I'm gonna tell you something that will probably shock you, but you're probably every single day strengthening the part of your brain that you do not want to. You're strengthening the monkey mind, aka also like Jeffrey brain, you could call it, from some influencers, some very popular influencers call it that. But it is the part of your brain that does things that you do not want to do. You know, you do these bad habits, because someone, you have like a craving, that's the bad brain, right? The bad brain that doesn't think logically, that has, judgment on things that is actually not even true, and even if they are, does not help you at all. It is the bad part of your brain. Let's call it that. And you're strengthening this every single day. So let me give you an example. I'm still doing this. I'm not perfect. I'm here to tell you the lessons I've learned, the realizations I've made. Because even telling you that this is a problem will help you, because then you will think more logically and more in depth. You will think about it, it will be on the top of your mind instead, at least while you're watching this, instead of, oh yeah, I didn't know that. We want to be educated, and that is like a goal of my channel, because I'm making educational videos, so kind of obvious one. But anyways, an example that bugs me still is mom. And moms are always like this. They're always annoying sometimes. I think it's annoying. I do. Maybe that's a limiting belief, but I think it's annoying. But I'm like trying to go to bed. I will give her that I have a crazy bedtime, and it changes like all the time, so it's not crazy for her to ask me stuff, and sometimes I warrant interruption, you could say. Sometimes, oh, you take the dishes. So nowadays I'm trying to take the dishes like the seconds, because she can be there like 2 minutes later. I'm trying to eat whatever. She's like, but take the dishes. I made food 2 minutes ago. Can I eat up first, please? But it's best for me. Just do that instantly. And honestly, I'm not. Warm food is good, but I'm like, if I can't eat warm food, it's not the end of the world. But if I can get one less interruption when I'm supposed to sleep, then that's good. Because I found that like some noises, I'm very sensitive. Some noises can literally delay my sleep schedule by like 20 minutes. It's insane, bro. And so it's not worth it. So when she gets knocking the door, the Eskill, and I'm like 10 minutes before sleep, I'm like, oh. That, oh, you forgot to clean the stove. And I'm like, okay, I clean the stove, I take the dishes, I take everything that's on the stove, so there's nothing there, she can't complain. I take the clothes outside of and I clean my room, I do everything so she can just calm down. And sometimes it works, but sometimes she finds another thing to. And it is annoying, because I'm like, I get, impulses, I get a little bit mad. It's annoying as fuck, because I know I'm gonna sleep now and I have a hard day tomorrow, have something planned. I'm like, if I can go to bed now, that would be perfect. But I found some things that, that's the monkey mind. When you get angry, you can't really control yourself. It's like someone opens the door, you're like, you're like, you know what I mean? It's not really you, it's a bit of, you're like, oh, but that's authentic. No, that's your monkey mind. Like, you get mad about something, you're like not really listening to the other person, you're like getting in your own world. Oh yeah, he thinks this. Someone asks you, why didn't you clean the stove? You're like, oh, but yeah, it's because she yeah, you take it for granted that, oh, you can't clean the stove, you don't know how to clean the stove, because you have this thought in your mind when you were younger. Your mom is like, oh yeah, you even clean the stove or something like that. But in the end, but actually what she really meant, why didn't you clean the stove, is because might be, oh yeah, I had something so I couldn't do it. I can do it, it's like I know how to do it, but I couldn't at that time. It's a limiting belief we have in our mind. So when she says that, it is probably because I forgot it, not because I can't do it. That's the thought in my monkey mind is saying, "Oh, you don't know how to do it. You don't know," and it's really annoying the fuck out of you. These thoughts are annoying as fuck, and the thing is, you can't eliminate them. These thoughts will come, and come, but you can shift them so less of those will occur in your mind, and that is by manually implanting thoughts. So I've learned about this, how to eliminate negative thoughts from different channels and some books, I think. And I'm reading one book about the monkey mind as well. Pretty mainstream about this now. But the thing is, when you manually implant thoughts of in this book they talk about observing and monkey mind. Observing mind is that curious mind, you know, more educated, smart. And so one way to get into observing mind is, breathing deeply, and that's like, oh, breathe deeply and you will not fap, and that doesn't really work. But if you breathe deeply, you get more present and conscious, right? And then you think to yourself, maybe not. You start to be curious, like, why could that be? Instead of, oh yeah, I know it's this, and then you think of the worst thing. Yeah, she thinks I can't clean. Like 10 years ago, 10 years ago, bro. I know how to clean. Like I know how to do it. I just didn't do it because of X, Y, and Z. I know how to actually do it. Instead of that, you're like, why could she? Because it has already happened. She has already interrupted you. So no reason to be mad at her. In fact, that you're mad at her, that she annoyed you. Like I've been that 1,000 times, but she's still doing it. So that shame doesn't really work. You're like shaming her. Oh, you shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done this. You say that 1,000 times, and she still does it. Doesn't work. In fact, try a different approach if something does not work. And so I am like, interesting. Why did she annoy me? This time I took out everything that she usually annoys about, and then I'm like, oh yeah, she wants my help because dad is at work or he's in a call or something. So she doesn't have the man in the house who can do the things she needed. So I'm like, okay, so she's depending on me. Amazing. Then I'm the second man in the house. Not bad. I'm like, even if it's something weird like that, it doesn't help if you are negative, like she's annoying fuck. I mean, like my gratitude. This is why people do a lot of gratitude journaling, and I've started incorporating this now. Like I've done this like every day once upon a time, and since I stopped for some reason, but now I'm trying to get into it again. So I realized that my biggest problem literally now is negative thoughts, and I didn't have that problem when I was journaling every day. So perhaps gratitude journaling, when you go about your day, be present. And it's like, oh, be present, be present. It's difficult when you have many thoughts in your mind, but try to change those thoughts, not stop the thoughts. That's what present, people think that present means, oh yeah, stop these thoughts. I don't think you can, because when you think, you're like, oh, I'm not gonna have any thoughts, I'm not gonna have thoughts, you're literally getting more thoughts by doing that. So being present is doing something that gets you in a flow state. Not, oh, I'm not gonna think, I'm not gonna think. No, being present means a task where you're in a flow state. Sport, riding a bike, recording a video. I'm in a flow state now. I'm present. Maybe reading a very engaging book to be a flow state. So you spend your time doing a flow state. Or when you're not in a flow state, manually implant positive thoughts. When you're there at school, you're like, the teacher talked about, oh yeah, in the 1530s they did this and they hunted like this. They invented this. Oh, in 1912 or what, I don't know what time. In 1912, in 1900s or 1800s, the first electricity came. Then you're like in the middle of the lecture. Oh, I'm so grateful that electricity. He made electricity because of he did because of this, because he made the electricity, I can now record a video. I'm so grateful for the guy who made the internet. Because of the internet, I can do my living online. I'm so grateful for my ancestors, for they have survived for millions of years. I'm here today. I'm so grateful for the forest. The forest has provided generations with oxygen. The forest has provided me this lovely house here. It's from oak wood, I think. I'm grateful for it. Right? Spend more time doing that and less time oh, I hate school, why am I here, why am I here? Because we have asked this a million times. Like, sure, we keep asking it because the thing is, we keep asking, the answer doesn't change. It might be shit, but the answer doesn't change. And so why spend so much time thinking of negative thoughts? That's a dumb idea. But we know this. The purpose is dumb because I'm not even planning on going to university. And that's like the only reason why we're in school, because we want to get to university. And if even if you're going, oh, I'm not going to university route, you're still doing some random shit that's, oh, but it's useful if you're a leader, if you're a no one, if one who graduates school, do you think you're a leader? No, you're a 9 to 5 rat. But it's the people who graduate school, who educate themselves afterwards, who become leaders. Not you don't become a leader because, oh, I did high school and now I'm a leader. No, I don't think a single good leader, extreme person got that way by school qualification. No, they did it by educating themselves. Like I learned more in one book than I do 3 years of school, and I mean learn more in overall, and I learn more relevant stuff. So I learn really nothing really important at school, and that is honest. I'm honest here. That's the honest truth. And I've never been a good student. I've never been one of those. I'm autistic, guys. I'm very sensitive. I get distracted all the time. It is not an environment made for me. And I don't think most people either. It is quite a depressing place. But I don't want that place to take power over me, so I don't think about it much. But these anxious thoughts get these, oh, school is so bad, oh, this is bad, and oh, I fapped yesterday, I did something. Shame. And when you're pissed, you hate, when you hate something, and shame, shame, you did something you shouldn't been doing. You hate something, and because of that, you try to negate the pain. The shitness of your life is school. You try to negate it with some porn, and when you do it, you feel shame afterward. So it's a negative loop that continues. So how do you break that loop? Well, at number one, you start thinking about you hating school, because when you start thinking about hating school, you start doing things to negate the pain. Because the thing is, anxiety and all that stuff is actually internal. Because there were times I didn't think about school at all, and they didn't give me as much anxiety. Before I knew about self improvement and stuff, sure, school I didn't like, because I was just gonna play video games. But then when I was like 10 years old or even younger, school was like the time I spent time with my pal and I played football. So it was just like a break at school was like, yeah, kind of cool. Like I'm nothing against it, right? So it's always internal. I learned it's always internal. Now, of course, we know that school probably is not the best if you're really trying to maximize your time, entrepreneur. Like even if it helps with my entrepreneurship, which it doesn't. I think the benefit from school comes from going outside of your home. That's the biggest benefit, because you will get 10 times more done if you just spend time in a local library than school. But it is true that you might get more done in school than home, because at home you spend 12 hours scrolling on it. Fair, but that doesn't mean it's productive. That means that every other place that is not home or home is like more productive. Maybe a place without internet not productive either, but you get the point. But it's you that's creating anxiety. So when you have this when you get mad, you the monkey mind is taking over. You're like, oh, why do you do this? I've told you 1,000 times to put the T somewhere else, do this and this and that. We get caught in a negative loop, and then when we're thinking negatively about school or stuff at home, then that goes on to the next cycle, which is we try to negate the pain, and we do it with alcohol. And after we drink alcohol or do porn or whatever, we feel like shit because we shouldn't have done that. Shame is the worst energy we can bring in our life. And so, if shame often comes from shittiness and pain, which we create by our association, it might be true. We might hate school, and yes, I do, but doesn't work. Doesn't help from say, oh, I hate school, I hate school, I hate school. I get it done. But I do not prioritize school, so I wake up 4 a.m. so I can get what's actually important when I have energy up. That makes sense. And so start going from negative thoughts to gratitude thoughts. That could be a very good tool. And as I said, being in the present moment does not mean I'm not gonna think of anything, because that doesn't work. Instead, you do tasks that gets you in a flow state, which makes you think of like nothing. And that's task that is not too easy and not too difficult. Which is too difficult could be climbing, you're not in a flow state. Too easy could be just sitting around. Something that could be a little difficult but not too easy could be biking, sport, playing football, playing, I don't know, floorball, playing hockey, playing, that might be too hard for someone who can't really use the skis. No skis, that's not. You know those you have. Oh, what the hell are they called? You have them a hockey on the ice. It's like your shoes that has like a, I don't know what they're called, frisk, or I don't know. Anyways, spend time in flow state and not at home. And when you're not in flow state, then think of happy gratitude thoughts. And that's why gratitude journal is powerful, but you can also get benefits from just thinking grateful thoughts. You go about your day, you see this lovely, I don't know, tree, and you're like, oh, this tree has helped me a lot. It's fine, it's cool, it's amazing. I'm grateful for it being here for today. Changed my perspective on this world. I'm grateful for this YouTube video Eskil made, for it changed my opinion a lot. I'm so grateful for the fact that my mom annoys me even if I don't like it. Maybe I should try a different approach. It's not over yet. I've tried nothing. I've only tried a monkey mind idiotic way, and so there's a lot of potential there. I am grateful for my evening routine I did yesterday. It made me wake up 4 a.m. without feeling groggy, and I feel amazing. I can do my work properly. Yeah, that's the end of this video. Give it a shot and hope it can help you.